first, I would like to thank University of NDSU Vice Chancellor, Dean of the College, and especially thanks the Indian Veterinary Poultry Association Chairman and the group, especially Dr. Jinetha Verma. So my topic is current status and way forward of the sustainable poultry industry in Sri Lanka. Do you know the real situation of the Sri Lanka now? We are recovering now. We hope to develop in the industry sustainability. Agriculture plays an integral role in the Sri Lankan economy. Livestock, poultry and fisheries are considered as a valuable agriculture subsectors. They produce high quality protein in form of milk, meat and eggs, the protein sources. From the livestock sector, contribution to the total GDP is around 0.9%. Cattle, poultry, swine, goat and sheep as a primary products, value-added products and byproducts. Livestock care in Sri Lanka is still rural livelihood activity which utilize family labor. We are using family labor. Unutilized agricultural byproducts, neglected marginal lands is very important for the development of the livestock sector. There is strong symbiotic relationship between crop and livestock. The two sectors of crop and livestock helps enhance the productivity of the agriculture economy of the Sri Lanka. Livestock industry Sri Lanka, the contribution of the GDP, 0.9%. So according to our the statistics, agriculture, forestry and fishing was 2020 8.4, industries was 2020 20.62%, services 59.7 and others 5.7. So a very important sector is livestock sector. The dairy contribution was 20.21%, chicken meat 0.51%, egg 0.1, and meat was 0.12. That's why we are very important in poultry sector. The population-wise in Sri Lanka in 2021, cattle population around 1.6 million. So we have beef production 29,543 metric tons. The cattle milk 376 million liters per annum. Our requirement, the national requirement per capita consumption 52.6 liters per annum. But we are producing 20.36 million liters in our country. So balance, we are importing from New Zealand, Australia as a powdered milk. So milking cows, we have around 493,343, heifers 262,595,000 and calves 189,23,000. The productive animals total around 900,000. So you can see the unproductive animal around 42%. So that's the problem we are facing now in the cattle industry, the unproductive animals using our resources. The buffalo milk production also 51.6 million per annum. Poultry meat, we are very strong in the industry, poultry meat. We are producing 41.97 million. In last evening, Dr. Gowda said in India, your production around 800 metric tons chicken. And swine is very small, goat and also very small. So our total milk production in Sri Lanka, 427 million liters per year. The poultry industry in Sri Lanka is a lucrative business fully controlled by the private sector. The contribution of the GDP, the poultry sector, from the livestock sector, the 67%. Cheapest of the animal protein, chicken and eggs still now. 99 handled by private sector. That's the reason we are very strong. Government role limited to facilitation and regulatory activities and also monitoring. We are self-sufficient in domestic demand according to the purchasing power. Supporting the growth plans, agriculture and tourism sector also through the poultry sector. Potential to export local industry on par with international production in high quality industry with international standard. This is our country, small country. The land extends around 65,000 square kilometers. Our population 22.6 million. We are very strong in adult literacy, around 92% in the southeastern region, very strong literacy rate. The average poultry population in grandparents in 2020 was 0.07 million. Boiler parents 3.24 million. Layer parent was 0.22 in 2020. Commercial poultry industry, broiler, at the moment in 2020 was 15.2 million in India. I heard last evening maybe around 850 million. Layer industry also very strong, 22 million, and backyard 1.1 million. Total poultry population around 42 million. So we think about the food security and food safety. So the Sri Lankan government, also the Nutrition Department, Minister of Health, they recommended requirement 147,000 metric tons per minimum requirement of chicken meat. So we are producing now 216,000 million metric tons. So we are very strong in the poultry meat production. And demand supply and current purchasing power. If the purchasing power is high, consumption rate going up. So production versus food security, egg also. So our production is 2,650 million per year. In India, I hope maybe 122 billion per year. So demand is locally met according to our purchasing power. Requirement basic food security, MRA, the Ministry of Health and National Nutrition Council recommended for our country, we need around 7,500 million eggs per year. So we have a good opportunity to expand our layer sector. So it's depend on the purchasing power and demand. Chicken meat production chain. So we have 3 grandparent farms and 34 parent farms. So we importing only 15% of the parent birds to the country. And broiler farms and integrators. We have lactative system. We have introduced in 1977 out the economic change. So the buyback system. Because the integrators provide day-old chicks, feed, medicaments, and technical service, and purchase the harvest. And also they encourage to develop the value-added products. And also poultry feed, we import raw materials, basic raw materials, and vitamin minerals and feed additives. And also we use local feed raw materials. The egg production is the same as the broiler section, and we haven't GP farms in Sri Lanka. We import 100% of the parent birds from the other countries. So we have 10 parent farms, and we produce the day-old chicks, and also the same system with buyback system with integrators and farmers, the strong link. They provide the inputs to the farmers. Consumption by region in 2000 now statistics, Europe a very high consumption rate of egg and chicken. America the highest, Asia and Sri Lanka. Our per capita consumption in eggs now 125. This was 2019, and now 125, and chicken meat around 10. In India, I heard last evening Dr. Gowda said your country consumption rate, per capita consumption rate of chicken 6 kgs and also egg 90s. We are very strong in consumption rate in Sri Lanka. The meat consumption will go economic growth because according to the purchasing power. So world and developing countries and developed countries and Sri Lanka. compare with Sri Lanka, you can see, I think meat consumption, the total meat consumption rate per capita 13.5 to chicken 10. So chicken industry is very strong and people like to eat chicken. Industry has taken great effort to make protein available for everyone up to 2020 March. After the COVID situation, we are very practical problem to continue the business because lack of raw materials. So you can see in 2010 was frozen chicken kg, Sri Lankan rupees 320, 2020 was 430, 2022 per kg 1,200. Still the cheapest source of the chicken is 100 gram rupees. So that's why I think people like to use chicken, still cheapest source of the protein. Yes, we can export chicken, yes. So of course, we have developed very well and lucrative to a business with private sector. We have invested now, up to now, around Sri Lankan rupees 200 billion. And we have to pay our government in tax around 20 billion per year. Because that's this income generated from the government. And we have opportunity to the export business, get the export business because post-COVID the opportunities and still WVPA country in South Asian region. And international commodity stand have also developed and infrastructure also developed and able to expand demand because we have to chance to and we have the facility to double the production. So the problem is, weakness is high COP. So around 80% of the cost to the feed cost. So our target is how to cut down the feed cost. The feed, yes, we are producing around 1.4 million tons per year. The breeder, 100,000 metric tons, broiler feed, 520,000 metric tons, layer, 700 metric tons. The main energy source, we are using now the maize. Our requirement in 2020 was around 600,000 metric tons. Local maize production was in 2022, 350,000 metric tons. Balanced maize alternative product requirement should be imported to fill the gap. But the problem is the government regulation and the restrictions. Animal feed production 2016 to 2020, you can see dairy feed metric ton, that means 2020 was 68,000, poultry feed 933,000, pig feed very small, goat, shrimp, and total feed production I think 1.3 million metric tons. So we are storing in, totally we produce our own feed. Import of feed ingredients are very necessary because especially the basic raw materials and feed additives. The meat and bone meal, fish meal, wheat bran, soya bean meal. I think the largest quantity we have to import from other countries, especially USA and India. And also maize, our requirement is recovering maybe 50%, we have to import another 50% from outside. So basic feed openness requirement, that's a sustainability of the development of the poultry industry in Sri Lanka. We have discussed with government to fulfill our requirement. So if you use maize, we can use 60% of the feed and we need 720,000 metric tons per annum. If you use rice, we can use 40%, we need 480,000 metric tons. So protein concentrate also, soya bean meal, we can use maximum 40% and we need around 480,000 metric tons. So we hope to import India and USA. And also mineral sources, then feed additives, DCP, bone meal, we import from other countries. Local maize cultivation requirement, that's why our association linked with the agriculture department and we help to them to develop the maize industry in Sri Lanka. Because we have two seasons according to the monsoon rain. The biggest season is Maha and small season Jala. We have to cultivate this year Jala season around 64,000 hectares and Maha season 128,000 hectares, totally 160,000 hectares per annum. So our inputs also requirement also very important because we are not manufacturing maize seed locally. We have to import maize seed from other countries. We have more money, more foreign currency required. But everyone knows, I think we have facing now foreign currency problem. And also the fertilizer inputs, agrochemicals, and also we encouraging local maize farmers to cultivate the maize, and our association given the guarantee to purchase per kg 160 rupees. It's a very big business in Sri Lanka, so we can earn 50 billion per annum from the maize cultivation. So year 2002, we imported around 225 metric tons cereals, especially maize and wheat from India. We spent around $85 million. And this year also, we hope to fulfill the balance. We need around 270,000 metric tons of maize at the rate of now 360 per ton. We need another $2 million to import the maize. So that's why our association encourage our local farmers, and with new technologies, in average yields in hectare 5 tons, and also we can manage 300,000 metric tons of yellow season in this year. And local paddy cultivation forecast also, I think another source of the energy source we can use. So our staple food in yellow season and March season, total 1.4 million hectares we have to cultivate. So our expected paddy harvest 3.47 million tons. So current requirement human consumption 2.4 million tons per annum. So unfortunately our government banned the use of rice because of the food security, but we are producing main protein source for the nation, egg and chicken. So another alternative energy source also, we have identified cassava root meal. We have to develop the cassava root meal in Sri Lanka. We forecast around 100,000 hectares, 100,000 metric tons a year, and also good income from the farmers. Protein source requirement because soybean meals, because we are local production very small, 15,000 metric tons per year. We have to import 300,000 metric tons per year. We spend around $210 million per annum. The future of the Sri Lankan poultry industry grow with the recovery of the economy. The key grandparent farms capacity sufficient for countries to cover and also export requirement. Industry structural change, I think new technology use, environmental control houses, and with new technology. Healthy competition among strong players, benefits of consumers, quality, price, value-added products. Food security and food safety is main constraint here. Efficiency will drive the cost down. Present constraints, a main constraint about the energy source resources, especially maize, lack of maize. What poultry industry can ensure steady supply to local market and thereby ensure the total chicken and egg requirement of the country. Support growth of GDP through better job opportunities, development farmer communities. Support sustainability of other related industries, especially maize cultivation, farmers and agriculture byproducts and tourism. Because in Sri Lanka, 15,000 maize farmers, because we are purchasing from them total products. Our target is export 72,000 metric tons a year of chicken and 300,000 parent breeder chicks and 30 million eggs in 2024. Potential export quality chicken meat may be around 180,000 metric tons per year. We have established farm with novel technology in the world and do production international standard, because very important. Potential manufacturing can generate foreign currency by exporting chicken products and can more local currency than ever due to high exchange rate because Sri Lankan rupees depreciate. Sri Lankan can be poultry products exporters as well be help the export income of the country. Potential large and medium scale producers will have the opportunity to expand the export market, and small and medium scale producers will have more space to expand their production and supply high quality products to the local market with affordable prices. This will help create a affordable protein rich diet in the nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ajith, for a very, thank you, Mr. Ajith, for a very good insight on data points on and the contribution of livestock industry in Sri Lanka economy. Good to see that poultry seems to be pretty self-sufficient, and as you mentioned, the meat and the egg consumption probably is per capita consumption is higher than in India. Yeah, so that's great. I'm sure Sri Lanka economy will come out, very strongly. Any questions anybody may have?